So you might wonder, how often are products being approved based on single-arm registrational studies? Sharing some recent data between 2002 and 2021, there were 31% of novel oncology products approved by the FDA based on data from single-arm registrational trials. Of those, 49% were for novel agents and 51% for supplemental indications, generally meaning that the product was already approved for another indication. 66% of products were granted accelerated approval, which is a regulatory pathway commonly used for the approval of oncology drugs, in part due to the serious and life-threatening nature of cancer and because of available surrogate or intermediate clinical endpoints that are considered likely to predict clinical benefit. In oncology research, this typically means that the surrogate endpoints are expected to be associated with and predictive of longer overall survival.
One note to add here for additional context is that within the past decade, about 85% of the drugs granted accelerated approval by the FDA were in oncology. And as of last fall, 50% have confirmed clinical benefit and 12% have been withdrawn.
If we look now at the role of single-arm trials in oncology European authorizations, 66 of the 731 medicinal products that received approval between 2012 and 2021 were for the treatment of solid tumors, and 27% of those were approved based on single-arm trials. Now, despite similarities in the percentage of US and European approvals, our experience has actually demonstrated some different expectations and acceptability of single-arm registrational trials by regional location, along with different expectations for post-approval activities. And I'll note that what we don't actually know from these numbers is the number or the percentage from either regulatory agency where a single-arm trial was perhaps proposed, but ultimately determined in part due to the feedback from the authority that it would not be sufficient for eventual registration.
Yeah, thank you, Robin. We can see that there is a place to use single-arm trials as registrational trials in either region, but it does need to be well justified, and other avenues will need to be explored before you can conclude that a single-arm study is the most appropriate approach.